So we are going with the lesson plant parts and functions. Yesterday I discussed about the different types of roots. What are the different types of roots we are having? Taproot system and fibrous root system. Taproot system, what are the parts the taproot system is having? It is having the main root and the lateral roots are present to that one. And we can say that the taproot system, the plant which is having taproot system will be very large, very big, very huge. The roots will penetrate deep into the soil and the tree grows very big. Fibrous root system means it is hairy like structure, very light in weight and easy to pluck out. So I gave you some examples for taproot system. Mango, neem, people, etc. comes under taproot system. Then coming to fibrous root system, paddy, grass, maize, etc. comes under the fibrous root system. Then, what is the importance of this root? Is root important or not? Already I discussed the root is very important to the plant. What the root will do? The root will penetrate into the soil, I told you. So, what it will do means it catch holds the soil. The roots will catch hold the soil which is present there. Then what the soil contains? The soil contains nutrients, minerals, water. These all things are present together. If these roots absorbs this nutrients and minerals which are present in the soil, then only the plant will have strength and it grows and gives good yield like fruits and the flowers. If the soil nutrients are very less, then the plant cannot grow properly and it cannot give us a good yield. Know the difference between this one. That only last day I told you. Some plants will have many bunch of flowers and fruits will be present. For few it will not be. Why? Because why it is happening like this means because of this problem. What is that? It is not absorbing the soil nutrients, minerals and what is that? Water. Got the point? Then what the root contains? The root contains air space. What the root contains? The roots contain air space. Stem contains lenticels and leaf contains stomata. These all absorbs these water, soil nutrients, etc. And with this only we can say that the root is a main part for our body. How the backbone is very important for us to stand erect and do our work. Okay. In the same way, the root is very important for us. As I said for you today, we are going to do an experiment about what? Absorption of water by plant. Absorption of water by plant. We are going to see that.
Start.
Absorption of water. For this, what we have to do? Okay, means how the plants will absorb water. Can we see that one? Is it possible for us? Now, I am drinking water. I'll say that it reached to whole of my body parts. Can you see that how it is passing? In the same way, how it is passed, how the water is absorbed by the plant, we have to see that. For that, what you have to take means, take 2 disposal glasses. Okay, take 2 disposal or take 2 transparent glasses. Did you understand? Take 2 disposal glasses or 2 transparent glasses. Means what experiment we are doing, it must be visible for us. Okay, now fill these glasses with water. Fill these glasses with water. This is first glass and this is second one. Okay, this is first glass and this is second one. In the second glass, pour red ink or blue ink, any ink, any colored ink. In the second one, you pour any colored ink. It may be red, blue, etc. Any color you can pour. Here you are taking normal water and here we are taking colored water. Okay. Now place one of the plant in this one which is having roots, stem, leaves, etc. take two plants and dip these two plants in the water and leave aside a whole night. Okay, leave these two plants aside for whole night. What will you observe in these two things? For me, I am saying that the two plants absorb the water. Whole night, the two plants absorb the water. But in the normal water, maybe I may not identify. In the second one, I can identify. You can see here, take a glass of water. Okay, take a glass of water and just you place a plant in this, which is hiding place, which is having roots and all, but you try to keep which is having roots, stem, leaves like tulasi, gongura, amaranthus, torticura, or coriander, like that. Anything which you can, which is visible for us, such a type of plant you take and you just put it in this. Okay, and leave like this for whole night. I am telling that this plant which I just put in this water whole night absorb the water. I am telling. Anything is visible in this? Nothing you can find. How the plant absorb the water? We cannot find that. So, in the second case, what I am asking you to do means, in this water, okay, what you have to do means, take a colored ink. It may be red, blue or some other thing. Whatever it may be, you take that and add a little to this water. Start. So, take the colored ink, I took blue and just poured in this glass, and you can see that, what is that? The water changed into blue in color. Now, leave this system for whole night. Okay? And you have to try to observe that one. As I did it whole night, I tried, I left this one. Okay, you can see that these stem particles, what is there? It absorbed the blue color. Not only the stem part, you can see that the roots, the stem, the leaves, back of these leaves, everything will be changed into blue in color. You can see that when I took this one, this part, these leaves and the midrib, the veins, what are present to this leaf, this total whole plant will change into blue in color. When it changes to blue in color, what is that? What I can mention means, in the first case also it absorbed water, in the second case also it absorbed water, but here in the second case that blue lines indicates that, means near the roots, near the stem, near the leaves, if we are seeing the blue lines, that indicates that the plant absorbed the water. In the normal condition we cannot see that the plants absorb the water. Okay, in this when we are using colored ink, then we can see that the plants absorb the water. So what you have to do, absorption of water means we have to take 2 glasses, fill these 2 glasses. Please try at home this activity, then you can understand how the plants absorb water by root, stem, leaves, etc. What you have to do, once again listen clearly, take 2 glasses of water, fill the 2 glasses of water, fill the 2 glasses with the water, okay, and place 2 plants in that one which are having the roots. After that, please don't spoil the plants. Again, you saw them in the soil. Okay, we should not disturb the plant life. Habitat we discussed, no, we should not disturb any plants, animals, human beings, anyone's life we should not spoil. So, if you uproot with the root, again you can place it in the soil, again it grows properly. So, you place them and leave that one for whole night, you leave it. When you leave like that, you can observe that the first plant also absorb the water, even the second plant also absorb the water. But how we will know that this plant absorb water and this plant? In the second case, I am using colored ink. What will happen means the roots, the stem, the leaves, everything will be changed into which color I used, that particular color. If I am using blue, they will change into blue color. If I use red, they will change into red color. If I use green, they will change into green in color. So by that, already the plant is green, you cannot identify the green color. So let us grow with red and blue. So they will change into red and blue. So which will observe the root, stem and leaves. By this experiment we can say that the roots will absorb the water. The roots will absorb the water. Did you catch my point? Absorption of water. Do this activity. Then next we are going to discuss about parts of the leaves.
Start.
Before starting about parts of leaves, let us talk about tuberous roots. What are these tuberous roots? Some plants or some fruits and vegetables store their food in roots. Some plants store their food in the roots. Such a type of plants are called as tuberous roots. Some plants store their food in roots. Such plants are called tuberous roots. Such plants are called tuberous roots. How the roots will be means they will be bulged in shape. The roots will be bulged in shape. That's why we are telling them as tuberous roots. The roots will be bulged in shape. That's why we are telling them as tuberous roots. Example are carrot, beetroot, then radish. Not only in roots, we can say that in stems also, like sugarcane. Okay, some plants store their food in roots and stem. Roots and stem, such type of things are called tuberous roots. Now in roots means carrot, beetroot, radish. If you are taking stems means ginger. Okay, then next what just now I told sugarcane. Then this garlic, potato, onion. These all comes under the root systems only. Through root only we are getting these type of fruits and vegetables we are getting. So such type of plants are called as tuberous roots. Some plants store their food in roots. Such plants are called as tuberous roots. Example carrot, beetroot and radish. Okay, next we are going to discuss about parts of a leaf. What are the different parts of the leaf? We are going to see now. What are the different parts of the leaf? The first one is leaf base. Second one is petioles. Okay. Then this third one is midrib. Fourth one is lamina. Fifth one is, for this again you will have a small light things here. These are the veins. What are the different parts of the leaf? This is an 8 marks answer. What are the different parts of the leaf? We discussed what are the different parts of the plant. What are the different parts of the plant? Root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits. 5 parts. Again, what are the different parts of the leaf? What are those? Leaf base, petiole, rib veins, midrib, lamina, etc. So see here, I took the paper leaf. You can see here, this part is comes under the leaf base. This leaf base is connected to the stem of this leaf base is connected to the stem of the leaf. Did you understand? We will pluck it like this from the plant. This is called as the petole, which we will hold that one. Okay, petole, which we will hold that one. Next, you can see very clearly the long, like our backbone, it was here. This is called as midrib. What is this? This is called as midrib. And to the sides, you can see these are called as laminas, which are giving support to the plant, to the leaf, which are giving support to the leaf. And inside this lamina, you can see veins and veinlets are present. Okay, that is the skeleton part of the leaf. I'll show you the skeletal part of the leaf also. You can see here, this is the skeleton part of the leaf, the skeletal part. I'll show you clearly once again how to do the skeletal part also. I will explain for you. You can see here, the midrib is there, lamina is there, the veins and veinlets. This is the skeleton part of the leaf. The veins and veinlets, you can see inside what are present, the midrib only. No chlorophyll, no green color pigment to the leaf. Only you can see the veins, veinlets, lamina and midrib. This is called the skeleton part, and this is the original part of the leaf. What are the different parts? The leaf is having a leaf base. It is having petole, which we are holding. It is having a midrib, which is the backbone of the leaf, and it is having lamina like our bones, and in middle you can see that veins and veinlets are there. These are the different parts of the leaf. For what purpose the leaf is useful for us? The leaf is used for what purpose? It is having green color of pigment for the photosynthesis process, and for what purpose it is used? Means to prepare the food. This leaf is used. Here in your textbook, few questions are asked. Just see the table. Where is the leaf attached to the stem? Where is the leaf attached to the stem means the first one is leaf base. Where the leaf is attached to the leaf base. Okay. Second one is, what is the flat portion of the leaf called? What is the flat portion of the leaf called? It is called as lamina. The flat portion of the leaf is called as lamina. Third one is, what do you call the small line-like structure in the flat portion of the leaf? The small line-like structures which are present on the leaf. These are the small. Inside the small line-like structures are present. They are called as veins and veinlets. What we will say them as veins and veinlets. Okay. The fourth question here is, which part connect leaf lamina with the stem? Which part is connecting leaf lamina with the stem? Midrib. Which part is connecting? Midrib is connecting the leaf part of the leaf lamina with the stem. Did you understand that? What are the questions given here? Where is the leaf attached to the stem? It is attached to the leaf base. What is the flat portion of the leaf called? Lamina. What do you call the small line structures in the flat portion of the leaf means? Veins. A leaf contains a leaf base, a stalk-like structure called, what is that? Fourth question, which part connects leaf lamina with the stem means it is midrib. Next, what he is telling, a leaf contains leaf base, stalk-like structure called petole and lamina. Are all leaves same or different? So, tomorrow what we are going to discuss means, will all the leaves are similar or different? Okay, then we are taking few plants. Already we took that 5 plants. Are they having are the leaves having leaf base, petole, the midrib, veins, lamina? We are going to discuss, and how to see the skeletal part. How to see the skeletal part of the leaf. How to prepare the skeletal part of the leaf. Tomorrow I will explain for you. Got the point? Thank you.